Hello everyone, so welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this video I'm going to be talking about what is consulting really like. What do you do in consulting, how I got started, the different interview processes, what's it like in terms of being a junior consultant in a large company, the reality of it, and also the positives of course. So to start with, when I decided to do consulting, I really wasn't sure what to do with my career. So I had a degree in material science, but I knew I wanted to do something in a variety of industries. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I wanted to try stuff out. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do when I graduated. So also I didn't have any specific skills that I could apply. So I had a degree in material science, but there was nothing in industry where it required those specific skills that I wanted to do. So for that reason, I wanted to do something in a variety of industries. I also wanted to learn a lot. I also wanted to travel and also like the prestige of consulting. So that was a big reason also why I went in. So variety of industries, learn a lot, potentially travel, prestige as well. So those are some of the main reasons why I picked consulting when I first graduated. So when I graduated, I had two jobs in consulting. So my first job was in a large IT consulting firm, and my second was in Big Four consulting. So in terms of my first job, the interview process was three quite intense rounds, as ending with a large group task. So the group task involved four of us, and basically we had to read through this document and essentially discuss as a group how we would tackle the problem. It's quite a strange environment because you kind of put in a room with four people and you have to kind of make up the minutes in a way. So you have to kind of speak up for a certain amount of time for them to recognize, oh, this person or Alex is speaking up for a certain amount of time and he's delivering his communication in a certain way and he's adding value to the discussion and trying to solve the problem. So it's kind of like a forced group setting. It's quite strange if you really think about it. I've not done a group task since then, but I found it quite intense and quite strange to think about. So my first job was in IT consulting, and so also called digital consulting. So I got joined us on the graduate program, and so it was quite nice. The first couple of months. So the first weekend, I was put in a nice hotel with all these other graduates from different disciplines, from HR to finance, and we spent 1 week in a really nice hotel up in the north of England, and essentially we spent a lot of time doing soft skills, working together on group tasks, challenges, etc., just to bond as a graduate cohort. So once this week ended, so it was straight on to consulting. And so consulting, there's kind of two different arms to think about this. So one is the sales side, so bringing in the new clients, and one is the implementation side, so the people that actually implement the project that was sold to the client. So as a junior, you really don't do that many sales. It's kind of left for the more senior consultants. So as a junior, you're kind of implementing whatever projects are available. So in my case, it was mainly implementing enterprise software or bespoke software solutions in certain cases. So a lot of time you're going to be in a variety of industries, but in most cases you're going to be working on public sector. So what I mean by public sector is that these are government organizations that could be in healthcare, NHS, etc. So you're going to be working on public sector problems. So these could be bespoke software solutions, but majority they would be implementing enterprise software to large organizations. So for example, it might be implementing, say, Microsoft Office 365 to a couple of thousand employees to a healthcare organization, for example. And so, yeah, a lot of time you'll be spent doing this. And in terms of the reality of the task now, so to go a bit deep into the day to day and what you actually do on these projects and organizations is number one, because these are implementation of software solutions and technical solutions, because when you first start as a junior consultant, like you don't have specific skills. You don't have many skills, say, and also you're quite junior as well in the organization. And consulting is quite hierarchical. So in terms of your initial tasks, they will be mainly customer support for the technical solutions that you roll out. So this could literally be just answering troubleshooting emails about technical products, or it could be like helping roll out of certain hardware devices. So it could be phones or tablets, helping to set that up, helping people to set up emails, and just general tasks like that. So that's one end of the spectrum. So doing customer support or IT support for any technical problems that they have. And on the other end of the spectrum is admin tasks. So I remember I was put on a say 8-month project when I first started, and this was literally all admin tasks. It was just emails, setting up appointments, meetings, taking minutes during meetings, and it was just general admin tasks that needed to be done. As I was the most junior in the team, so kind of like a secretary in a way, just doing all this admin tasks, setting up meetings, booking appointments. So those are the main two tasks that you would typically do as a junior consultant. And so these are customer support and admin tasks. And a lot of people nowadays, they seem to think that consulting is you'd be put on the glamorous strategizing or pricing, business planning sort of tasks. But actually, in reality, most consultants, if you're not in, say, McKinsey, Bain, or BCG, those are the type of tasks that you would be doing. And not only that, but you'd also be doing digital consulting, since that is almost the bread and butter of most consulting firms nowadays. There's a lot of technical innovation that a lot of clients want to see. And so therefore, a lot of consulting projects tend to be sold within that domain. So it's actually quite rare to be on a solely business project or pricing or strategy project nowadays. Most of it is actually technical consulting. And I think that kind of is not in the realm of imagination for people when they first start applying to consulting firms. They always think of, oh, I'm going to be put on these big strategy tasks or big pricing tasks, but in reality it's actually quite technical, and there's a lot of technical transformation or digital transformation that's involved in these consulting projects. So another reality that I had to face, there was actually not much travel when I was doing consulting. So back when I was younger, so I really wanted to travel a lot. Yeah, so just to different countries, etc. But the reality is that you don't actually travel that much. I was mainly based in London, and I know a few of my colleagues sometimes had to travel, but these were in very remote locations in the UK, not very glamorous at all. So yeah, so I was mainly based in London, didn't travel abroad at all. There was no need for it. And also they had other offices set up in the different countries. So it was smarter for them to just hire their consultants in their local countries, yeah, for those particular projects. Yeah, so that's a common misconception. So maybe in McKinsey, Bain, you do travel a lot, but certainly in my case, I'm guessing for the average consultant or average junior consultant, is that you don't travel much when you're put on projects, especially at the junior level. A fourth one is the salary as I got as a junior when I just graduated. It's fairly low, say compared to the US or say McKinsey. It was a low junior salary of 30,000 British pounds. So yeah, that's probably between 30 and 40,000 USD. So obviously in the US is a lot higher. But this is actually quite common in the UK, this kind of salary. I was actually quite happy with this salary when I first started. I thought it was a decent salary, and I think it's decent within the UK. Maybe not London, but it's okay. You can survive on that. You can live off that. So not only do you not travel as well, so another misconception is that you always go to the client office. So obviously this is dependent on the client. So some clients want you to go to the office all the time and just interact with them. but that's certainly not the case. So it's often uh, the case that we work in our own consulting office. So that way we could communicate freely, team up freely with our team members and discuss the problem or details at hand. Another misconception is that juniors are often client facing, but in my reality that wasn't the case. So it was often the managers that would speak to the clients themselves, and they would essentially come up with a plan, and then they would speak to us juniors about the client, about the problems that we're facing, and how to tackle the problems as well. So another reality that I didn't enjoy was that timesheets are really important in consulting firms. So that was something new to me, coming from a very flexible environment at university. And so, yeah, every week you have to fill in your timesheets showing exactly what projects you're on, what exactly you're doing. And I didn't enjoy that feeling of kind of being controlled in some sort of way, that you have to detail exactly what you're doing with your hours during the week exactly. So I understand the need for it in terms of billing the client and saying to the HR or upper organization exactly what the resources are doing within your team, how they best being utilized, etc. And that was actually a very important part of being promoted as well, seeing how your time was being utilized. Was it over 80%, 90%? And that was really important for promotion, which I also understand, but I just didn't enjoy the inflexibility of having to write down exactly what you did in hour 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And just based on this, the promotion, in terms of the reality of promotion at these consulting firms, is that I felt it was almost time-based promotion rather than merit-based sometimes. So, for example, when you graduate from university and enter these graduate programs, it's almost a given that you have to do a year and a half of being on this graduate program before being promoted. And also beyond that as well, I felt like you have to spend a certain amount of years before, say, being promoted to senior consultant, manager, etc. And it felt very time-based rather than, oh, this person has delivered a lot of value for this client and he has a lot of skills that he can offer to the firm, and let's promote this guy. So rather than that, it felt to me very time-based promotion, which I didn't necessarily agree with. I understand, but I didn't necessarily enjoy or feel that this process was as optimal as it could be. So that was the reality, and so yeah, some of what I experienced in terms of consulting. However, having said that, there's a lot of positives to working in consulting. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's a whole lot of variety of industries that you can expose yourself to in consulting. So I worked everywhere from transportation to healthcare to policing to banking, finance, etc. So there was a whole lot of industries that I worked in, and due to that, I learned a tremendous amount about the different inner workings of different industries, the different cultures, etc. And through that, I learned to deal with a lot of different clients, a lot of different types of workplaces, different people, and different clients for that. So I definitely learned a lot from being exposed to different companies and different scenarios, etc. Firstly, and next, I had a great first manager as well. So I kind of like managers or people that kind of leave me to my own devices, also being nice as well, but also just leave me to my own devices and just let me get on with things rather than micromanaging. So that was a really great first manager for me to have as well. Yeah, great bloke as well. So just touching on the variety of industries as well. So it looks really great on your resume, having been in so many projects and many different clients. So that looks really great on your resume to be able to say, oh, I worked on this big client, that big client, and next big client as well. So that looks really great on your resume, but be prepared to answer in any interview questions. Say if you're going for a more specific role, say like why are you choosing to transition from consulting to this specific role when you've got so many different projects? So yeah, be wary when answering those questions in the interview later on. And having been in a variety of industries and different clients and different projects, you do get a chance to learn what you enjoy doing because you do so many things. So you do everything from answering emails, setting up appointments to customer support, but there also might be like different tasks you just enjoy overall. So it might be the more soft skills that you enjoy doing. So that might be doing sales or setting up client meetings, or you could enjoy maybe the more technical aspects. So it might be optimizing a certain process or Excel process, what have you. So yeah, so you do get a chance to learn what you really enjoy doing, having been with so many different clients or different industries. So you get a chance to learn about that and maybe plan ahead for the future about what you want to do as well. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this video. So hopefully you've learned a lot about what the reality is in terms of the average consultant, especially, yeah, in digital consulting, for example. And so hopefully you learned a lot about that, but also you've learned about some of the positives that you can take from this. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to see you next time.